The universe came to be about 15 billion years ago, give or take a few billion years. How this came about is still a mystery. However, my dad is claiming responsibility. The first humans tried to explain the world around them through the use of gods. These gods lived in the heavens and could be seen at night through the twinkling of the stars. It wasn't until the ancient Greeks that some reasoning was applied to what was traveling across the night sky. The reputation of the Greeks was so formidable that their ideas stuck for thousands of years. Around 300 BC, Aristotle explained the movement of the stars and planets using the idea of celestial spheres. The Earth was a spherical object in the center of the universe. The nearest sphere contained the moon while the furthest sphere contained the stars. In between were spheres which contained the planets. Around 240 BC, Aristotle proposed a heliocentric model for the universe. In a heliocentric model, the Sun is the center of the universe. At this time it was difficult to show any of the evidence needed to support this model due to the inaccuracy of equipment. It was therefore never seriously considered. Ptolemy tried to explain the retrograde motion observed in some orbits. However, it couldn't explain all celestial motion. 2,000 years after Aristotle, Copernicus proposed a new model based on a heliocentric universe. This model did have many problems due to the fact that it was still hard to detect any sort of motion around the Sun. Bohr and Kepler devised new instruments to observe the heavens, which led to more accurate measurements. Kepler could only explain his observations by abandoning the idea that orbits were circular. Kepler could only explain orbits using an ellipse as the orbital shape. This allowed him to develop his laws for the orbits of planets. Galileo carried out experiments on gravity and made many observations using telescopes. His observations led to many new discoveries. Among his discoveries were: the Milky Way was made of many small stars. Stars do not increase in size when observed with a telescope. The Moon was covered in craters and mountains. The Sun has spots which change. Jupiter has moons. The understanding of motion in the celestial plane took a great leap forward when Isaac Newton began explaining natural phenomena. Most are familiar with his laws of motion, but his universal law of gravitation helped solidify the motion of the stars. Gravity is an attractive force between all objects in the universe. Makes you think.